Hey guys, we are going to work on some math review together. Hopefully you have already printed this out. Notice I wrote answer key at the top. I'm gonna get rid of this. Go away. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm sorry, I wrote answer key at the top because you guys are gonna help me make the answer key. We're gonna work half of these together. There's only 16, I think. Yes. Yeah, there's only 16 of them. So if we work half, that's 8. And then you guys will only have to work the other half. And then I will send the answer key via email to your parents. And you actually don't even need to check them until tomorrow on Wednesday, just to make sure that you are ready, because this will be the format of the test you'll take on Thursday. I'll probably have, I haven't decided yet. I'll probably post a picture of it and then have you work it on notebook paper and then submit a picture, because it's just too hard to make a Google form with fractions and y'all having to try to put in exponents and fractions and things like. It's just too hard to type those in on the computer. It's easier if you can just handwrite it. So like I normally have done all year long, I usually give you a test that looks almost exactly like the test you're going to take, just with different problems. So we're going to do the same thing for this very last test of the year. Last test of 6th grade in math. I feel like this is still not very clear. See if I can get it a little bit clearer. So make sure you have this printed out. And maybe if I turn on this light. Well, what's going on? Oh, no, not that. Maybe if I get a little more light. Oh, it's a little bit better. All right, so we're going to just work probably like every other one. I haven't really quite decided yet. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear as we go. I have them. And again, we're just going to work half, because then I want to actually introduce you guys to Module 15. I feel like an old lady with my reading glasses. So this is a little bit of everything that we've done in Module 12, which is sometimes they're just asking you, like, is this a solution? Like, is x equals 5 a solution for any one of these equations? So when they're asking if it's a solution, that just means if I substitute in 5 for everywhere I see x, is it a solution? Means, does it make the equation true? Does both sides of the equation be equal? Okay, so a lot of these are very mental mathy. Is that a word? So like, I'll probably just do these first two and then skip a little bit. So this first one says, I'm going to zoom in. For which equation is x equal 5 a solution? And you know Miss Offit's going to be awful and tell you to show your work. So just show your work. Just do it. Just do it. Don't fight me. I'm just joking. Why am I whispering? I don't know. I don't even know if you can hear me. Anyway, I'm just trying to entertain myself. So I'm going to go, okay, mental math wise, I know that if I put 5 here, that 5 plus 2 is not equal to 3. So I know it's not going to be that one. Okay, if I put a 5 here, a 5 divided by 2 is not going to be 10. So I know it's not going to be that one. And then I look over here and I go, oh, I know 3 times 5. So I'm just going to do this. 3 times 5 equals 15. Check, circle it. Some way to show me, even if you write it out to the side, that you prove to me that that's correct. That's it. That's all it takes as far as showing your work on this one. This one just says, which of the following is an equation? Well, an equation has to have what? Yes, correct, an equal sign. Does this have an equal sign? No. Does this have an equal sign? No. Does this have an equal sign? No. This one does. So that's my answer. Okay. Which is a solution? This is just the same as like what we did up here for number 1. So I'm going to let you finish that on your own. I'm going to let you, this one, which equation has a solution of 12? This is like what we were learning at the end of the module, where you either have to add or subtract to the same side. And so I'm going to actually have you do that out to the side a little bit. That's why I left some space to the side. So let's see, which one should we work? This one or this one? Let's work this one. This one's a little bit more challenging. Y'all can do this one. All you have to do is figure out which one of these, when you either add 16 to both sides, or this is positive, subtract 8 from both sides, or subtract 6 from both sides, or add 6 to both sides. Which one of them makes x be 12? But let's look at this one, because this one's a little bit trickier. It says, which is the solution to the equation below? Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this at the beginning. You should have printed this out, and you should be working these along with me, because when I'm done with this video, you're going to snap a picture of just the problems we did together, just the half that we did and upload that. You're going to upload to show me that you actually printed this out and worked along with me. So if we were in class, I would have given you this piece of paper and I'd be kind of going around and making sure everybody was with me. So the only way for me to really make sure everybody's with me is for you to like turn it in. That doesn't mean you have to finish it today. It just means you have to turn in a picture showing you did the ones that I did with me. Is that clear? Okay. If you ask on Google Classroom what you're supposed to be uploading, I will know you didn't watch this whole video. So you're uploading the part that you're uploading a picture that shows you did the same problems that I did. Okay. So make sure we're clear. Trying to be super clear. So let's go to, we said we were going to do this one next, right? No. So we're going to do this one. This one. Okay. 5. Lost my spot. So I'm going to I need to figure out if which one of these would make this equation correct. So I have to start thinking, okay, if I put a -9 here, okay, a -9 minus 12 is the same as saying a -9 plus -12, which is going to be a really big negative number, so it's not going to be that one. Now, if I put a 4 here, I know the difference between 4 and 12 is 8, and so there's no way I'm going to get a -3 over here. Now, I do know the difference between 3 and 12 is 9. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to write, what if I do -3 equals 9 minus 12? Will that give me the correct solution? And then you can check it by saying, okay, I'm going to subtract 9 from this side, subtract 9 from this side, right? These cancel these out because this is a positive 9, right? And -3 and a -9 is a -12. So that would make -12 is equal to -12. So that means that 9 is the solution for that one. Okay, and I just showed my work. I just showed that if I plug in 9, I can prove it. Okay, that's what you need to show me, that you can prove it. Okay, how many have we done? 3? Okay, 5 more. Let's see. That one you can do easy. Which equation has a solution of 8? It's going to be exactly like what we did here. You're just trying to figure out which equation is 8, and you have to prove it to me by showing your work over here, like I did here. Okay, whenever you do it tomorrow. This one, let's try a story problem because these can be tricky. I think I zoomed in too much. Y'all can't see the whole thing. Sean wants to buy a skateboard that sells for $49.99. An advertisement says that next week the skateboard will be on sale for $42.50. How much will, oh, wait a minute. Why did it change from Sean to Gavin? How much will Gavin save if he waits until next week to buy the skateboard? All right, change those to Sean. Okay, see, I'll know if you're paying attention when you upload your picture and I see that you scratched out Gavin and wrote Sean. That's weird. I don't know how I didn't catch that. Anyways, how much will Sean save if he waits until next week to buy the skateboard? Now, what I'd like us to do is try to write it as an equation. So originally you would say, okay, well, I know that if it's originally $49.99 and the savings is basically the difference, right? He's saving the difference between $49.99 and the sale price of $42.50, right? So the difference is always going to be subtraction, right? Okay, so really all I have to do is take the $49.99 and subtract the $42.50, and I get $7.49. Now, I don't want you guys using a calculator for this. Okay, just come over here and do some subtraction on the side if you need to, if you can't do the mental math. Okay, however, I'll look at my notes here. How would I have written this as an equation if I wasn't sure how to set it up? You could say, well, if the sale price is $42.50, and that's what I want you guys to be able to, can you turn this into an algebraic equation? If the sale price is this, plus whatever the savings is the total price. So if I wasn't sure how to do this, I could say, okay, I know, or if I was asked to show this as an algebraic equation, this is not an algebraic equation. This is just a regular mathematical equation. But to write it as an algebraic equation, I need to have a variable, which is this. The unknown is S. But I need the S to not be alone yet. It can't be isolated yet if I'm trying to write an equation and solve the equation. So $42.50, which is the sale price plus whatever it is I'm saving, is the full price. Because then you could subtract $42.50 from this side, subtract $42.50 from that side, which is what we did, right? We took $49.99 and subtracted $42.50. And then you've got, this might actually be a little easier for some of you who aren't that great at mental math because it lines up the subtraction for you. And then you have your answer there. Okay, so that's, if you're asked to write an equation, make sure that you can go ahead and write out this first if that helps you, and then see, how can I flip this around and write it as an equation? What is the unknown? The unknown is going to be my variable. Okay, I'm not going to do that one for you. Okay, I've done 4. Let's see here. I'm not going to do that one. Y'all can do this one, which is a solution to the equation. We did one like that on the previous page. Again, you're just going to substitute in these different numbers and figure out which number divided by 2. Oh, that one's really easy. It's a mental math, or 64, right? Shh, I didn't tell you that. Show your work out to the side. Okay, let's do this one. Louise walked for, I want to do the word problems with you because they're a little bit trickier. Louise walked for 16 minutes. Natalie walked for W minutes. Okay, basically it's just the amount of time that Natalie walked. So W is the variable they're using there. Let me look at my notes here. Okay, so it says that Louise walked twice as long as Natalie. So if Natalie is represented as W and Louise walked twice as long as Natalie, I could say twice as long as W because W is Natalie. So wouldn't that be 2W? So Louise, but we also know that Louise walked 16 minutes. So I can write my equation saying that he walked twice as long as Natalie. Natalie is unknown, so 2 times Natalie's unknown number gives me how far Louise walked, right? So now we can easily come over here and solve. I'll use a different color. By dividing both sides by 2, which cancels out. Remember, I'm dividing because this is a multiplication. I want to undo it. And then I just get W equals 8. So then I can come back over here and say, okay, Natalie walked for 8 minutes. Okay, that's 5. Let's do 3 more. Let's see. Okay, some of these you're just going to have to write an equation for. You don't even have to solve it. It says the weight of a goat, because it's making sure that you remember how to use all that vocabulary that describes algebraic expressions. So a goat increased the weight, I'm sorry, not the goat. The weight of the goat increased by 12 pounds. So let's make weight be W. So if weight increased by 12, couldn't I write weight plus 12, whatever the weight was, then the goat added 12, and now the goat is tells me equal 38 pounds. So that's all it's asking you to do is write an equation for that one. It doesn't even ask you to solve it. You could by subtracting 12 from both sides and getting, subtracting 12. Wait, is that right? Yeah, subtracting 12 on both sides and you would get the original weight of 26 pounds, right? Because 26 and 12 is 38. All right, how many is that? Let's see. I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, y'all are gonna have to talk louder because I can't hear you. Again, deciding whether that's a solution, you're gonna substitute it. What are you gonna do here? You're gonna add 3 to both sides. What are you gonna do here? Subtract 0.6 to both sides. What are you gonna do here? Divide both sides by 5 to get P by itself. What are you gonna do here? Multiply both sides by 1.2 to get D by itself. I'm giving you the answers. Okay, let's try Jeff. This last one. Jeff found 3 times as many seashells as his sister. Jeff found 3 seashells. How many that's like that tongue twister. Seashells by the seashore. I already said it wrong. But let's see, if Jeff found 3 times as many as his sister, we'll let his sister be S. So I'm going to say he did 3 times S, which is his sister. How do I write 3 times S? Isn't it just 3S? Okay. Well, how many did Jeff find? Because it tells us right here, Jeff found 39. So there's my equation. This says write the equation to represent this situation. And in this instance, it says then solve it. Okay. It doesn't always tell you to solve it. This one over here just told you just to write the equation. So now I'm going to solve it, which is going to require me to, let me get a different color. Since this is multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. That cancels that out. And that tells me that his sister, okay, she found 13. Okay, and he found 39, which is 3 times as much. So I'm looking to see that you, A, can set up equations if asked, and B, that you can solve equations for a variable. You either have to add the same number to both sides, subtract the same number to both sides, multiply the same both sides by the same number, or divide both sides by the same number. I'm going to go ahead and write this one because I already gave you the answer, and that makes 8. Go back to number 8. If I think it's 64 because I'm like, hey, mental math tells me it's 64, that's fine. Just come over here and show me. Okay. If I'm going to substitute in this, then I need to show, oh yes, 32 is equal to 64 divided by 2. So that is correct. Okay. I think that makes 8 problems. Y'all have 8 left to finish. You don't have to finish them today. You can finish them tomorrow. If you want to finish them today, you can, but Wednesdays, Tuesdays can be long. Drop my glasses. And so I don't want you to take too long today if you're getting tired. Rest your math brain, because I'm going to introduce one more thing to you today, which actually is going to have you practicing this adding and subtracting to both sides, but we're going to use angles. We're going to use angles and triangles for right now. I think we're just going to use triangles. All right. See you guys.